This isn't your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. This is a broken man in a broken city, and he might have been created in a jar. Today we're breaking down Spider-Noir, the brand new Amazon Prime series just dropped its first look, and throughout this video we're diving into all of it. I want to talk about everything we know so far about the show, the characters, the comic history, the wild production details, and of course give our full breakdown to the trailer starring Nicolas Cage. Because this is not just another Spider spin-off, this feels different. So first things first, this series continues Cage's version of the character from Into the Spider-Verse. But this isn't just animated noir stepping into live action, this is a full reimagining. Spider-Man Noir first appeared in a 2009 miniseries set during the Great Depression. That run leaned heavily into hard-boiled detective fiction, trench coats, morally grey choices and pulp storytelling, and the show is doubling down on that film noir aesthetic. Amazon is actually releasing two versions of the series, one in color and one in black and white, and depending on which one you pick, that determines how smart you are, mate. Me, I'm going black and white because if you're doing noir, you commit. The series is confirmed to have 8 episodes set in an alternate 1930s New York City, and at the center of it all is Ben Reilly, not Peter Parker, working as a private investigator who always seems down on his luck. Already that's tension, already that's deviation. And here's where it gets interesting. Nicolas Cage told Esquire that he's playing this performance as 70% Humphrey Bogart and 30% Bugs Bunny. Let that sink in. Humphrey Bogart and Bugs Bunny. That alone tells you you're not just getting moody whisper acting. We're getting something stylized, something strange, and something very Nicolas Cage. Now, if the name Ben Reilly sounds familiar, that's because it has a whole messy history. Now, Ben Reilly is the name of one of the Spider-Man used during the infamous Clone Saga. He took the name from Uncle Ben's maiden name, Reilly, and during that arc, Peter Parker actually stepped back. Reilly took over the mantle for a bit. And yes, everyone hated it, the 90s were chaos. Around that same time, Jean-Paul Valley replaced Batman. We had Cyborg Superman. Characters were splitting in two, getting replaced left and right. The status quo completely shattered. Eventually, of course, things reset. Peter came back, order restored. But over time, those once hated characters found appreciation. Even Reilly appeared in Across the Spider-Verse as a gritty, depressed parody of 90s edginess, skipping over a lot there, massively simplifying, but that's how the name came to exist. And that's important because this show is clearly playing with identity. Showrunner Oren Uziel has said Peter Parker is too synonymous with youthful, upbeat high school energy. So instead, they wanted something gritty, something depressed, something worn down. In this telling, Reilly was once the city's only superhero, not Spider-Man, just the Spider. And that naming choice, officially they say it connects to pulp influences like the Spirit and the Shadow. Unofficially, it might also have absolutely nothing to do with the complicated rights situation where the studio struggles to use the name Spider-Man, to the point they could even say it in Madam Web. And that's why this is called Spider-Noir, not Spider-Man Noir. The tension builds, and after a personal tragedy, he's forced to confront his past and resume his vigilante role amid corruption, crime and threats across the city. Classic noir. They've cited the Maltese Falcon and similar inspirations, and again, two versions, color and black and white. But here's where I think things get more interesting. I have a theory, and hear me out. I think they might switch between black and white and color at key moments. The creators have hinted that the black and white version might include bursts of color, possibly symbolizing hope or transformation. In Into the Spider-Verse, Noir was fascinated with the Rubik's Cube because of color. The detail feels deliberate, so maybe we get flashes of color even in monochrome. Maybe they reverse too. They've also said they're drawing inspiration from Batman the Animated Series, leaning heavily into Art Deco design. Then there's that lightning strike shot. Not to go all Snyder's The Blueprint, but that shot instantly reminded me of Watchmen with Rorschach. Stark, iconic, graphic novel come to life. And Rorschach, extremely gritty, extremely grounded. That's the lane this show wants. And I'm very curious to see how far they push it. Because now we get to the cast, and this is where the stakes rise. Beyond Nicolas Cage, we've got Lamorne Morris as Robbie Robertson. Yes, that Robbie Robertson. Daily Bugle mainstay, the guy who usually kind of knows Peter Parker is Spider-Man but never quite says it. Very Lucius Fox in Batman Begins energy. He knows, he doesn't say it. By the Dark Knight, he's handing over new suits, so yeah, he knows. Morris appears in 6 of the 8 episodes, which in noir terms might not bode well. Then there's Lee Jun Lee playing Cat Hardy, inspired by Black Cat, a mysterious starlet. Think nightclub singer energy, think The Shadow, think Temple of Doom opening sequence, femme fatale territory, walking the line between right and wrong, like Black Cat, like Catwoman. But don't tell anyone they borrowed from each other. They didn't. We've also got Karen Rodriguez as Janet, Riley's secretary, and then our first major villain, Flint Marko, Sandman, played by Jack Houston. From what I've heard, Lord and Miller actually pushed back and forth with the studio over budget because they needed it for a massive Sandman fight. Sony hesitated, then they saw the vision, now they're going all out. And Sandman is reportedly a massive part of the show. We also have Brendan Gleeson rumored to be playing Silvermane, introduced in Amazing Spider-Man number 73. Silvio Manfredi, Sicilian crime boss, head of the Magia, because Marvel didn't want to upset the real mafia. Silvermane became obsessed with immortality. There's even a storyline involving the Tablet of Time where he tries to restore his youth. Very curious what Gleeson does with that, because yeah, he's Irish, playing an Italian. We also have Abraham Popula as World War I veteran Lemuel. Andrew Lewis Caldwell appearing in 6 episodes, role unknown. And then the trailer begins. Kat asks Ben to start from the beginning. Flashbacks show him stumbling through a facility. Spiders in jars, experimentation. He talks about tics, thoughts, impulses. He's tired, mostly successful to suppress. Unlike Peter Parker, this version is more susceptible to darker urges, and maybe even an existential crisis, possibly tied to the fact that Ben Reilly is typically depicted as a clone. Cage brings a goofy charisma to this haunted version. He gets plastered after beating guys up in bars, but his investigations, anything but goofy. Seedy alleys, smoky nightclubs, rain-soaked rooftops, surreal visions, moments that shake both him and Robbie to their cores. Prime Video confirmed that all episodes drop May 27th. MGM Plus airs the premiere May 25th domestically, produced by Sony Pictures Television in a unique cross-platform agreement. Classic Cage weirdness, but very different from Spider-Verse. There's also a hint of Electro in the trailer. He clearly swings on webs, so I don't know what they're talking about with no powers angle. We also glimpse Sandman, Man-Spider, Molten Man, Electro. So here's the big question. Is Spider-Noir the result of Nazi experiments? Because in the trailer we see Ben in a military uniform that looks more German than American, staring at a spider in a jar. We see POV shots of doctors looming over him, and he makes it clear he did not ask to become this. In the original 1962 Amazing Fantasy number 15, Peter was simply bitten by a radioactive spider. Over time, writers added explanations, chemicals, lasers, cosmic nonsense, mad scientists like Otto Octavius or Norman Osborn. But if Spider-Noir goes the Nazi experiment route, that deviates from the 2009 miniseries by David Hein and Fabrice Sapolsky. In that version, Peter gains powers from a spider in an exotic idol, receiving visions of a spider god. Eventually fights Nazis anyway, who come searching for the idol. So maybe this show isn't string as far as we think. Either way, this is blending comic roots, pulp noir and Nicolas Cage chaos. And now we hit the part that gave me goosebumps. You've got all the classic noir staples, the therapy session, the framing, mirrors, symbolizing duality, hidden selves. He's in session unraveling. The shots are off tilt, Dutch angles. The grandfather clocked frames symmetrically. Ben looks unhinged on one side, the spider entombed in glass. On the other, it's powerful imagery. Tonally, Cage can go two ways, subtle or full Nicolas Cage. Here he's clicking, pointing, gesturing. It's funny, it's campy. Not everyone will love it, but I do. New York itself feels under construction, like the iconic photo of workers sitting on a steel beam having lunch, a city being built, a man falling from it, symbolizing descent from elite heights into darkness. I genuinely had goosebumps, and I don't normally react to trailers like that. It's the staging, it's the contrast, it's the stock lighting. Lord and Miller are producing. They were groundbreaking with the Spider-Verse, some of the best comic book films ever made. And Nicolas Cage finally getting a live-action superhero role after the whole Superman almost happened saga. We even got that Flash cameo in this timeline. So yeah, I'm hyped. It doesn't give too much away, just enough. A struggling man, not a bastion of greatness. Not with great power comes great responsibility, but instead, with no power comes no responsibility. Cracking that line. Very excited, great first look. That's the teaser. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. So if you enjoyed this breakdown, hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the notification bell so you get alerts to all my latest videos. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.